Welcome to the Let's Feel Good podcast. I'm your host, Annie. After nearly a decade of asking, why don't I feel good? I ultimately discovered the answers through simple changes to my daily habits. I've spent years healing myself and investing in health and wellness companies tackling the chronic disease epidemic. Along the way, I realized something important. True health isn't built through cold plunges, IV drips, or $30 smoothies. It's the small, everyday choices that add up, shaping both how we feel today and our long-term health. Let's Feel Good is here to keep it simple, giving you practical tips and swaps that compound into a lifetime of vibrant health. Thanks for being here. Let's feel good together. Welcome back to the Let's Feel Good podcast. I'm your host, Annie, and today we have on a very special guest, Sophia of Detox Your Dome. I am so excited to chat with you today. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. Well, for a little context, for the audience, Sophia and I actually went to high school together. I was thinking about this before we hopped on. Like, we were friends in high school. We had so many shared interests. And then 5-10 years later, we find ourselves both building businesses in the wellness space, and so much crossover. So it is so fun to have life circle back like that. And so
Absolutely.
excited to chat with you today. I'd love to start off with just your personal story. So, who you are, introduce yourself, why you started Detox Your Dome, and then kind of what your mission and vision is for the brand.
I love it. So, yes, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to talk all things low-tox living with you. I agree. There's so much overlap between Let's Feel Good and Detox Your Dome. So, I'm so excited that we get to join forces. And also, I had Annie on my podcast a couple months ago, which was very exciting. So, I feel like we could do a million of these episodes. We have so much to talk about. So, a little bit about me. My name is Sophia. I live in the Boston area. Like Annie said, the past few years post grad, I've spent moving around between Colorado and Vermont and Boston. And I really had this idea for Detox Your Dome about 2.5 years ago. I started getting into this more low tox, non toxic lifestyle. And there's a few things at play in my life at that time. Um, the first thing was that I was post grad. I, had a little bit of disposable income. I was excited to start buying my own products and clothes and skincare and whatnot. And I really, I went to school for marketing. I come from a marketing context, marketing background. I went into marketing after school. And I love looking at branding and marketing. It's something that I have a passion for and something that just, I don't know, I always pay attention to it if I'm going shopping or I'm just online. Like I love branding, marketing. It's just like a passion into branding, marketing. And I, have a little disposable income and I want to start purchasing skincare. If you're on social media, on TikTok especially, I feel like the skincare craze really took off like 3 or 4 years ago. And people are getting super technical with their skincare and the hyaluronic acid and the retinol and all these things. And I was just excited to learn about it. And I really wanted to purchase products that I had a lot of confidence in and that I knew weren't just really pretty packaging and marketing and branding. And for me, that kind of led me to wanting to decipher like what is actually in these products, and which led me to, let's look at the ingredients. Like what is in this serum that makes it $85 versus the one from The Ordinary that's $11? Like, are they the same? Are they different? What's actually going on here? And so I was starting to kind of go down that route, trying to be like a really savvy consumer and trying to be, just make these really like educated decisions about the products that I was using, particularly beauty products. And then this one particular event happened where I was on this yoga meditation retreat. I was with my girlfriend, my mom, and my sister, and we were on this retreat for a weekend. And you couldn't have your phone there. You're kind of just like, you're there, you're present. And at one point I was like, I'm going to go down to the gift shop and just kind of check out what they have down there. So I go down there and there's this man selling his own skincare. And I just start talking to him, asking questions about his brand. And I'm super excited about the products. And he starts telling me that, oh, I created this skincare brand because I actually worked in cosmetic manufacturing for my entire career for 25 years. And I honestly just created this skincare brand out of safety for my wife and my daughters. He's like, I have 3 daughters and I spent my entire career in these factories, in these manufacturing facilities, selling equipment to these companies. And he's like, I was horrified. The ingredients that they use, their processing. He was saying how a lot of times brands don't even have to list processing ingredients on an ingredient label. So there's a whole nother level to just the ingredients that they're telling you, like things that they use within the process. Sometimes they don't have to list. He was just kind of going off about all these different reasons why you should kind of be a little bit more conscious about the ingredients about the products that you're using and buying. And I ended up talking to him for probably 2.5 hours. Like I talked to him for so long and I didn't have my phone and I didn't know where my sister, mom, girlfriend, I'm like, I don't know where anyone is, but like I am here talking to this man. And I asked him so many questions, and he also was the one who told me about EWG Skin Deep, which I didn't know about before. And that, of course, just like, completely flipped a switch for me, starting to look at their platform. And, I don't always use the EWG ratings, but I think EWG is a great source for learning about ingredients and just like starting to understand the ingredients that are within your products. So those are kind of two things that were happening at the same time. And it really just, they came together. It clicked in me like, I've always, and going back to how Annie and I have known each other since high school, I feel like we've both always been into health and wellness, but we're starting, at least me, I'm starting to really understand what that actually means, not from like a branding marketing perspective, not from like oh, you eat the nuts instead of the cereal. Like, no, there's always deeper layers to things. And it's really about spinning the bottle around. I have a whole series called Spin the Bottle because just turn it around and just look at the ingredient label and it'll tell you all that you need to see. You don't have to look at marketing, you don't have to look at branding. It's really about what's on the ingredient list. So that's sort of a long-winded answer of what kind of got me to this headspace of like looking at my surroundings in terms of ingredient lists. And since that point, it's like I look at everything. I'm like, oh, my toilet paper, there's an ingredient list on my toilet paper. There's an ingredient list, same as the salad dressing and same as the peanut butter. It's also like all my makeup and my skincare and my household cleaners, like everything. Most things have an ingredient label. And we should be paying attention to them because we use them in our lives, we put them on our skin, on our bodies. And that is sort of what inspired Detox Your Dome. I was just so passionate about it. I started making TikToks about it. And then it kind of has just evolved from there and has become a much larger thing than I ever thought it would be. I think anyone who is in a similar space of health, wellness, or low tox living understands that it's just a complete rabbit hole. Once you start going down it, you just keep uncovering more and more and more. So that's kind of what got me to Detox Your Dome and where we are today.
I love it. What was the man's skincare brand?
It's called Replenish Plus. He has
Okay.
amazing skincare products. I totally need to talk about them more on my page. His name is Robert Lockwood, I think.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. We can put it in the show notes. But he wrote a book as well about his experience in the cosmetic manufacturing industry and why he created the brand that he created. Just an amazing, amazing skincare brand.
I had a similar experience, and I told you about this on my podcast, but it was like that one guy in New Hampshire who wrote the
Yes.
book on how to live your
Yeah.
life, and it was just it catapulted me into the
Right.
health and wellness space, and it's always that one altering experience, that one person, that one run-in that is so
Mhm.
small in the grand scheme of life, but totally changes
Exactly.
your course.
And I think it's really about like, it just kind of flips a switch. Like it flips your brain into looking at things in a different way. And once you just start to look at it in a different way, then you realize that, oh my gosh, I just understand it so much more. Or at least I understand how to approach it so that I can understand it better.
Totally. You have this ability to you dig into the research, like, at such a granular level, and then you synthesize it and distill it and educate the audience in such a clear, concise, and digestible way where it actually makes sense. And
Thank you.
you've taught yourself all of that. Like, if I
Yeah.
didn't know you, I would look at your page and be like, "Oh, she's a PhD in chemistry." How have you
Thank you.
mastered the space in the way that you have? And I guess another way to ask that question is how do you teach yourself to then teach your community?
Thank you so much for saying that. I would say, like, honestly, it has just been so much of my time. Like, I think about I'm someone who I totally have, like, a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests. I love to read, I love to do outdoor activities, whatever. But, like, if I look at the past 2 years of my life, all of my free time has been spent, like, reading research articles, like, sifting through ingredient lists, like, trying to understand why this ingredient is better or best or worse or an okay kind of gray area ingredient. Like I just think I've just developed this passion for it and it's just a lot of time and reading. Like I'm just
Yeah.
constantly curious about this space and like I don't know, I think I just feel a passion for it and so I'm constantly reading. I mean, I think there are like really great resources out there. EWG is an amazing resource to go to like at first. Like they're another great resource that can help synthesize information, help break down ingredient lists so you kind of understand, oh, this is a preservative or this is a stabilizer. Like this is the function that this ingredient holds within an ingredient list and these these are options that are more toxic or less toxic. INCI Decoded at INCI. It's another great platform. You might start to notice it if you're shopping online. You can go to and brands will have within their ingredient list a drop down, and sometimes it's their INCI Decoded, and so it's just a great resource. I think that brands must work with them to say, like, let's educate our audience or our community on the ingredients within our products. That's something that's important to us. And so I kind of started to pick up on the INCI Decoded and go to their website and read through things. Mamavation is a great resource that does a lot of firsthand testing on products. And so I think they're just it honestly is just a lot of time. I feel like that's why I've also kind of created Detox Your Dome, because I was like, I'm spending so much time. I just want to tell people. I just want to,
Yeah.
I want people to know, and people have questions about this. Like, I might as well, if I'm going to read these research articles for 2-3 hours, I might as well make a video about it, help it to someone else as well.
It's really interesting because I do a lot in the food space
Yeah.
of looking into different ingredients, and there's so many loopholes. Obviously, it is
Right.
so not regulated in the US. What can pass is safe when it is really not safe.
Right.
And it's interesting because I feel like you have to know who to trust when
Yeah.
you're researching different ingredients because, you will find studies out that like seed oils are healthy for you. Like there
Right.
is such conflicting narratives in this space
Yeah.
that figuring out like the source of truth beneath it all is really confusing, and I think that's why your platform is so amazing is
Thank
because
you.
it's like the one-stop shop so consumers can kind of not have to do all of the granular digging that you
Right.
are to
And
decode
all
the
the
truth,
time.
and
Yes,
all the
totally.
time.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I also think, and I agree, like, I would say my biggest tip in that aspect is, like, put yourself back into your 7th grade history class or science class writing a research paper. Like, would your teacher allow you to use sources of a blog that's on a website of products that's trying to sell you things? No, you should not trust that resource. Even if they are saying things that are true, I would never, like, quote a blog.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to cite actual research papers that have multiple authors that have been peer reviewed, that are in credible journals. Like, you really just have to use, like, that step of the critical thinking. Like, is this person or platform that's trying to give me this information trying to sell me things? Or are they actually just trying to put information out there? And I think it really comes back to, like, knowing who your sources are and being, like, really critical of who you're trusting from that information. The thing is, this space is also highly commercial. So there are a lot of brands who are trying to educate about ingredients, trying to educate about what clean beauty means. But at the end of the day, like, you really can't trust a brand. Like, you can't unless they're verified by someone like EWG or Made Safe. Like, I think that gives that added level of trust and credibility. But when trying to understand, like, firsthand information, you have to just be going to, like, these credible scientific peer reviewed journals. Otherwise, like, people can just be saying whatever they want, and it's not rooted in any actual evidence.
And I think that that's where it gets so confusing,
Yeah.
especially on social media.
Yes.
Another question for you on that topic is
Mhm.
why should people care? Like, why does it matter? And I
Yeah.
think oftentimes you hit a point of like, I am so sick of not feeling good, or I'm so sick of these breakouts, or the bloat, or the fatigue, or, God forbid, a chronic illness that
Right.
people have this like up call.
Right.
Why should people start now? Like, why is this so important?
It's such a good question, because I feel like there's kind of 2 buckets of people. There's one bucket of people who are experiencing an autoimmune disease or multiple chemical sensitivity or allergies or asthma, like these chronic conditions that are being exacerbated by the things in their environment. And I think that, or people are pregnant for the first time. I think people kind of go through health and bodily changes, and that will spark them to go down a low tox journey. And I was actually just talking about this with one of my friends, because her sister is pregnant and she's, like, going through her whole low tox journey. And we were talking and we're like, okay, well, if a woman who's pregnant shouldn't be using all of these things, she shouldn't be eating all of these things, like, yes, of course, it's because she's growing a baby and it's a highly sensitive and vulnerable time for her and her baby. But also, why should we be doing? Like, shouldn't that be a red
Yeah.
flag for all of us? Like, if this isn't good for a growing baby, it can't be good for us. And maybe it's not the worst thing in the world for us, and it would take a lot of it to do harm on us. But still, it's something. It's not making you better. It's not making you feel good. It's not keeping you at your same level at homeostasis, like it is still kind of adding to your overall toxic burden. So there's one bucket of people who are going through these bodily health changes. And then why should people who aren't going through those changes actually care? And I think it's because for me, at least I look around and I'm like, I'm not sick. I don't feel sick right now, but I look at so many people in my life who are sick. I look at a family history of people with cancer, and I look at so many of my peers struggling with fertility issues, and I know that's something that I want to go down the next few years. And I feel like we should care about our health and about our wellness. And I also think it's it's on an individual scale, but it's also supporting brands and corporations that actually like care about our health. Like I look at,
Wow.
the brands that are sold at CVS most of the time, or these big corporations. Like the beauty industry is run by six massive corporations. They do not care about your health. And they buy up little businesses. They own, 80% of Sephora and 90% of the drugstore. Like these corporations, it may look like there's all this different choice you have and all these different products, but they're actually all owned by the same person. And that person has a history of not caring about the things that you're using on and in your body. And so I think there's, that aspect where it's like there are small businesses mainly run by women who have gone through similar journeys, who see these issues that we're all struggling with. I mean, how many people do you know have PCOS, have endometriosis, are
Yes.
struggling with fertility? It's like so many people. And, these things don't come down to just one cause. They come down to the cumulative environmental exposure between the things that we're eating, between the things that we're using in our home to clean our home, the things we're putting on our body, the things that we're wearing, like all of these things add up. And I think it kind of goes along with health. Like if you care about, your health and wellness and feeling good and continuing to grow and live old and feel good, like I think, that's why you should care.
It's so true. It's so important. And you do notice the shift. And I
Yeah.
think like at first you notice a shift of empowerment. It
Right.
feels really good to like, get
Mm.
in a shower and know that everything you're putting on, in, around your body is
Right.
clean and it's not hurting your health, but
Right.
helping your health and making you feel good. And then the byproduct is, yeah, you're preventing, disease down the road, or you're
Right.
reducing your toxic load, you're supporting
Right.
your liver by not
Yes.
totally
Seriously.
stagnating it with chemicals.
I love
So,
that
yeah,
idea
no, it's
around
so important, and
empowerment.
it's really funny because I feel like, especially food sometimes feels a little bit more obvious.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just more of a narrative around it, around
Mhm.
what's good, what's bad, or,
Yep.
what's a whole food and what is, like, lab made or synthetic.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes products can be invisible. It's like
Yeah.
this moisturizer, this fragrance smells really good, it feels really good.
Right.
People don't think to look at the ingredients, and it's
Right.
something you can so easily dismiss.
And it's why it's, like, even more cynical sometimes because you go into Sephora or Ulta and everything is, like, the most beautiful packaging, the fun, trendy marketing. You see the social media posts, you see the people that you follow online using these products. People are hyping them up. They it's under the blanket of quote unquote beauty. And I think like the least beautiful thing is like putting toxic ingredients on and in your body, like using products with talc, using things with fragrance that are disrupting your hormones. Like that is not health and beauty in my eyes. And I see all of these small businesses, women owned businesses, people trying to change this industry for the better. And I love that idea around empowerment because it feels like I'm making very empowered, conscious decisions when I, one, support those brands to continue for them to do this like amazing mission and this amazing product. And also I feel better for myself because I know that I'm not doing any harm to my body by putting my lipstick on and blowing out my hair. Like I still get to feel pretty and beautiful. I'm just making like much more conscious decisions about the ingredients of the products that I'm using to do.
And it's the other thing too is like there's so much we can't control. Like,
Yeah.
if you live in a city like New York or even
Mhm.
or LA or a polluted city, or if you're driving a car. I was listening to a
Yep.
podcast the other day and like your seat warmers. I think it's EMF. There's a lot of
Yes.
radiation in them. It's everywhere. It's
It's
in
everywhere.
gasoline for your
Yeah.
car. It's in a receipt.
Right.
It's in microplastics. There's so
Mhm.
much that we cannot control.
Yeah.
So if we can make a shift to swap the things that we can,
Yep.
knowing it is gonna have a substantial impact on our
Yep.
health, why wouldn't we do it? And
Absolutely.
there's so many amazing products, like, I feel like I've fully
Yes.
converted to, the non-toxic
And I
lifestyle
feel like
from a
they work
beauty.
better too.
They're so much
I feel
better.
like
They're
brands that are
amazing.
taking that care are also, like, making products that just work better. Like, I don't know, I feel like my skin's never looked better, my makeup's
Yep.
never been better, like, my hair's never been thicker. I'm just like, I
Yep.
feel like these products are actually working better, so
100%. When you think about it, if you put on makeup every day to look good, or you put
Yep,
on, a really good face mask or serum to make your skin look better.
right.
If it is full of chemicals, like 60% of what we put on our skin and body seeps into our
Yeah,
bloodstream. That is causing inflammation,
right.
disrupting our hormones, underlying dysfunction, which will then show up as aging, as
Yes.
inflammation, as
Yep.
skin conditions. And it's like totally counterintuitive,
Exactly, and
which
a
is so
huge
interesting.
a huge link there that's exactly what you're talking about is the link between hormonal acne and using products with, like, fragrance and endocrine disruptors, parabens, phthalates, because you're using these products topically to try to combat things like hormonal acne, but and maybe they're great products for acne. Like topically, yes, they're working, but if they have fragrance in them, if all the other 90% of the products that you're using have hormone disruptors in them, you're going to continue to get the hormonal acne. Like it's never going to go away. And so
Yeah,
it's like, whoa, it's way more systemic. Like we need to stop thinking about things in just like little isolation. It's the cumulative impact. It's the whole system that you're trying to improve and make more beautiful and make more healthy and reduce the inflammation, exactly to what you're saying. And so it's like you have to, like when you're washing your hair, the shampoo and the conditioner, if those have endocrine disruptors in them, it's going down your whole body, and then it's maybe that's causing your hormonal acne. Like, it just mitigating all of these ingredients from all aspects of your life, like, is so important. It's not just about what you're just putting right here on top of your face. You're never gonna get to the root cause of it.
totally. It's like treating things in isolation. Like you
Yeah.
can't, and this gets me to something I want to ask you about, but
Okay.
you can't buy an acne serum to get rid of the acne if you're not addressing the root cause. And it's so
Exactly.
interesting as you're saying, because like that exact toxic serum could be driving the root cause and you
Right.
think it's helping it.
Right.
Um, so you're doing the coolest thing ever. You mentioned this to me offline before you started. You're like, I'm gonna do 365 days of
Yes.
low tox living. And you're gonna post, and I've seen them on TikTok, on Instagram, on Substack, a different theme every day. When
Mhm.
you told me that you're gonna do this, I was expecting like a one-liner and a swap. No, you are giving like a research paper distilled
Yep.
into a 2-minute video with like
Yep.
4 different product suggestions per day. But 2 of your posts really stood out to me. One was on holistic anti-aging
Yes.
and your hot take on it, and then your
Yes.
other hot take on retinol, which I don't think you've
Yes.
talked about enough.
Okay, so I started this very ambitious project. 365 days of low tox living. I knew it was ambitious going into it, and it's feeling ambitious, but I'm so excited and energized by it. And it's already been so great because, like Annie said, there's just so many ways that you can go about your low tox journey. And there's so many swaps that you either really would be accessible and easy to make, and then there's other swaps that are just impossible. Like the foundation you use, you're never willing to give it up. Okay, that's fine. Here's 364 other things that you can do. And it really is, the theme is about not being perfect and not doing all 365 things. It's really about, these are 365 ways that you can transition your lifestyle to more or less toxic living, and choose a handful that work for you. Choose one a month, go all in on a certain category, and then, just feel how that feels and kind of work with that and just start there. So, in order to break down the 365 days, because it's a year long, I am doing a different topic each month. And then within that month, it's, 30, 31 different subtopics. So the 12 topics off the top of my head, hopefully I can get all 12. Let's see.
Oh,
We're in the skincare month, which is my passion. I feel like where I really started Detox Your Dome was really rooted in skincare. So I feel like it's only right to just start with skincare. After skincare, we're going into makeup, hair care, body care, um, home and kitchen, cleaning, men's products, baby products, clothing, bedroom and bathroom, and I'm missing one. I think I combined home and kitchen. Yeah, we're going to do home and kitchen
okay.
for 2 months. So there's technically 11 topics. Home and kitchen is going to be, there's going to be 60 videos there. So, and I before I started this, I was like, I need to make sure that I have all of these topics, and it honestly took me like 1 hour of just brainstorming, and I'm like, "Oh, I have 345 of the topics already." I'm like, There's just so much to talk about here." So, I was like, "Okay, this is what we're doing." So, that's the 365 days of non-toxic living. Every single day there's a new post. It's on TikTok, Instagram, and Substack. And then also I'm building out these non-toxic swaps onto the non-toxic product directory on detoxyourdome.com. So we can kind of get into my vision and goals for detoxyourdome.com, but what I'm really trying to work on is make it this like all in one resource, like a really easy resource for people to go and find low tox swaps that have been vetted, that have been cleared, because we all know the process. If you're listening to this, you probably have been in a store scanning ingredients, using your apps to scan and read ingredients, and it takes a lot of time. And I think it's really good to go through that process. But if you're just like, I just don't want to think about it, I just need three options for my household cleaner, or three options for a different fabric softener, or I want, new tank tops for summer. Like I just want it to be super easy. That's what we're building out on Detox Your Dome. So I'm going to have all of these swaps all available on Detox Your Dome. So this month I've been working through building out the skincare portion of that. So as I post these videos, you can also go to the website and everything is nice and organized, categorized, so you can find all of those swaps. So that is our
Wonderful.
365 days. It is ambitious, but it's been really fun and really gratifying so far. And I've been having, just a lot of fun with it.
I love that. I think what's also really cool about you is you don't just say this is cleared. Like this is Detox
Right.
Your Dome approved. It's not
Yep.
toxic. You also mention why you love it. Like
Yeah.
everything that you recommend and why I buy so many of your recommendations is I don't only know that they're clean, but I also know that they work. And like if
Yes.
I'm looking for a lip gloss to sub out my Chanel one, which is probably loaded in chemicals, I
Totally.
know yours is going to be just as luxurious. So
Thank
like
you.
what is that process like? Are you just constantly trying new product?
I would say over the past 2.5 years, I've tried so many products.
Yeah.
And I've also really grateful for a lot of brands have sent me their products too to try and test out. And truly, truly, I would never recommend a product that I don't feel like absolutely works and has the clean ingredients. I
Yeah.
have certainly tried a lot of products that I'm like, this just does not cut it. And I just know if someone is used to using the Cetaphil, the CeraVe, the Tatcha, and they try to switch to this, it's not going to be a sustainable swap. They're going to be like, I am sacrificing. And so I've been I don't know the exact term for it, but I guess just very critical of the products.
Mhm.
Like I want them to work. And so yeah, I've honestly tried so many. I'm like constantly going into Sephora, Ulta, Target, Credo Beauty, as if you're lucky to live near Credo Beauty. They have them in a lot of major cities. I've spent so much time at Credo. I feel like I know the girls. I go in, they know who I am. I'm like testing things out. I'm doing makeup tryouts with them. Like I'm just testing and trying a lot of products. And I think going back to why I originally started this process, it wasn't even always about non-toxic living. It was like about purchasing products that I knew I could trust and that I knew really worked. And of course I don't get to try every single product, but like I'm reading reviews, I'm putting it out to my community. Like, has anyone tried this before?
Yeah.
And people comment, oh my gosh, this serum is amazing, this moisturizer is amazing. So I really do take all that feedback. Or if people are like, this one did not work, this sunscreen left a white cast, I really try to take note of those things and make sure to be, selective when adding these product recommendations to the website and just kind of talking about them on my page.
Yeah, you feel like you're upgrading, not downgrading,
Yes,
and getting
exactly.
healthier.
I know. I love hearing people say like that they love the products even more, because I think that's like, I already kind of said this, but I just think these brands that you're supporting in the low tox space are being so intentional. Like we're so used to buying beauty products that are owned by these big six corporations that like they're not, I don't know, I feel like the quality is better in these small businesses that are really trying to disrupt this industry. Like they have to try harder, they have to work harder, they have to be better in order to be successful. So I think the product, the quality ends up just being better.
Launch us into those 2
Yes.
topics because they were
Okay.
so interesting, and they're kind of
Yes.
hot takes, but they're also really true, so they're not
Yes.
very controversial.
Yep.
They're just
And
not
they
talked
actually
about
are.
enough.
Yeah. I love it. No, I love it. I love talking about this. I could talk about skincare all day. So, okay, the first thing, anti-aging skincare. I think that the first thing to know, and we kind of already talked about this, is that skincare is not just about what you're putting topically on your face. It's so fun and so easy to buy all the serums and the moisturizers and the toners and the sprays and the whatever. But like if you are not addressing the systemic things, which is a lot of what Let's Feel Good is about, reducing the inflammation and fueling your body with the healthiest, best nutrients that you possibly can, no amount of moisturizers and serums or whatever are going to make that difference. Like skincare really is from the inside out, and it's an organ, it's part of your body. And I think your skincare kind of shows the health of your internal system as well. Like if your skin is inflamed, it's trying to tell you something. I'm someone that's dealt with sensitive skin my whole life. And so, when I have eczema flare-ups or dermatitis or rashes, like I know that something's not right and I'm being too harsh on my skin or I'm going through a really stressful time. Like it for me has always kind of been a report card of like my inner health and kind of kept me in check. So talking about anti-aging skincare, how I see it and how I talk about it on my page is that there are four main pillars of anti-aging skincare. And also with the caveat that my mom is in the aging space. She works with startups and companies that support aging longer, living better. And she hates this term anti-aging because we are so like we are anti-aging. We're ageist, like we should be looking at growing and wisdom and our elders as, these beautiful people. We should not be so scared of wrinkles and all these things. Like we can't be young forever, and growing and aging is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so I feel like it's more about aging with grace and beauty. So with that, I see that there's like four pillars. There's one starts with your nutrition, starts with what you're actually putting in your body. Annie is a great resource for learning all the best things that you can fuel yourself with. Let's Feel Good recommendations I go to all the time. I'm like, okay, I need some better pantry snacks. Like, what am I eating here? What am I doing on the go? What am I doing on the weekends? So I love all of the Let's Feel Good recommendations. Just stick to whole foods, whole, real foods. You'll get your vitamins, your antioxidants, your collagen. Just stick to whole real foods, and you will support yourself and your body through that. And then there are topicals. So the topicals are the actual skincare products, the things that you're putting on your skin, the serums, the moisturizers. Within that, I would say the main categories you want to focus on are the antioxidants, which is going to be really preventative, preventing against oxidative stress, helping to fight the free radicals caused by UV sunlight and UV damage. The antioxidants are really like the first line of defense, like little fighters on your skin, just kind of in pollution too. They help to fight off pollution and just kind of protect you from all of those things. The most common antioxidant is vitamin C. So if you see a vitamin C serum, that's an antioxidant. But thinking about it again in terms of ingredients and being a savvy consumer, like there are other antioxidants out there. There's resveratrol, there's vitamin E. Sometimes, like me personally, vitamin C is a little bit too harsh on my skin. Sometimes it can be like a little bit too intense. So I try to go for more gentle actives that have those antioxidant benefits. You'll kind of get them in a lot of plants, fruits, botanicals. So just kind of keep your eye out that not it doesn't mean you have to do a vitamin C. There's like a lot of options out there for antioxidants. There's sunscreen, of course. You want to be protecting your skin against the sun. About 90% of aging is caused by SPF. I feel like the holistic wellness world is kind of going through this little shift right now where people are talking about the benefits of the sun. And I definitely think that, it's not good to be so extreme, like completely hide from the sun. The sun is good. It supports a lot of our natural processes, but just being really cognizant, you're out in the sun, you're going on a walk, or you're in, high UV index time frame, you want to wear your sunscreen if you care about the dark spots and the aging, the photo aging in your skin. And with the balance of, like we live in New England in the wintertime, it's hard to get sun. Like you want to get that sunlight. So that's a whole other conversation rabbit hole that I'm sure you could do an entire podcast episode about, but kind of the balance between sunlight, UV exposure. But if you want to prevent photo aging, you're going to want to wear the sunscreen on your face. Mineral sunscreens, non-toxic sunscreens, of course. And then there is the retinol, which I'll kind of just quickly touch on, and then we can go deeper into it. But the retinol or phytoretinol alternatives, these are vitamin A specifically. These are what's going to increase that cellular turnover in your skin and kind of continue to bring the new skin, the fresh skin to life. And it just kind of help. It sort of works in like an exfoliating way. It's just kind of helping to shed old skin cells, bring new skin cells up, and just keeping your skin really, really healthy, shiny, bright. Okay. And then the third pillar of anti-aging skincare are the at-home tools. So this is your red light. There's a certain threshold, I believe it's 620 to 690 nanometers or nano. I don't know exactly the measurement there, but you want to make sure that the red light that you're using at home is between the proper wavelengths, or else it's not actually doing anything.
Does it work? Do you notice an effect from red light?
I do. I like it. I don't know. I haven't been doing it enough. Like, I've been kind of a bad habit with it, but I think, yeah, it
Because
works.
I have heard that it does if you do it enough, it really does work.
Yeah, I think I need to be more committed to it. I think I need to be better about it. For me, it's always about, like, it's this, because I'm like, do I put it on before I go in the shower? Because you're supposed to do it with no skincare on. But then I'm like, when I freshly wash my face, I have to wash the thing and then put it on my face because then I don't want to get the dirty thing on my face. So I kind of go through like an OCD like pattern with that. So that's honestly what stops me from using it. And then I'm also like, I don't want to wear this thing. Like I want to wear this thing and lay in bed. I don't want to wear it when I'm in my bathroom. But then I'm not in the place right now where I can lay in bed and wear this for 5 minutes. I'm like about to hop in the shower. So I need to figure out a better routine with
That's
it.
hysterical.
Probably like first thing in the morning would probably be the best.
With your meditation, lie in bed,
Yes.
meditate, put on
Okay.
your
Yes,
there
you're
you
so
go.
right. Yeah, you're so right. I need to, like, move it out of the bathroom because it's not happening in the bathroom. I need to move it to a different space.
That's so funny.
But then, of course, like the gua sha, the face massage, those are all super effective in smoothing fine lines, really like working at the lymphatic drainage in your face. And then the last pillar are the med spa treatments, which absolutely do work if you have the budget and ability and accessibility to them. Things like laser, things like microneedling, PRP is so crazy. Would love to try it at some point, but they literally like take your own blood out of your arm and they run it through a centrifuge, take out the platelets and then inject them back into your skin. I've seen it done super successfully for people with really like hollow under eyes because instead of adding filler there, you're adding like your own platelets and your own plasma. It's either plasma or platelets. Don't quote me. I'll have to look at it.
Wow.
But you're pretty much adding in your own body's like nutrients in order to regrow, areas in your skin, reproduce collagen. Yeah. So
That is
so
I've
cool.
wanted to try that so
Yeah.
bad too.
So cool. So, anti-aging skincare is a combination of all of them. If you can do all of them, I mean, props to you. That is incredible. But I think it's really, again, it's about looking at your skin as an organ, as part of your holistic system, and trying to figure out the ways that you can best support it. So, whether that's doing the skincare every single day, morning and night, or it's doing your face massage 3 times a week, or it's, spending $800 once a year on a really effective laser treatment, like if you just do one of these things, they aren't going to work as great as if you're kind of doing all of them together.
Totally. Totally. What are your 2 you mentioned, like, the antioxidants and, like,
Yeah.
vitamin C and all that. What are your 2 products that you can't live without? Like, whether a
Okay.
serum or a treatment?
Yep. So recently, I've been doing some product testing for Lene, and this brand, I will preface, is expensive. And a lot of times I'm trying to give product recommendations on, accessible, affordable products. But if you have the budget, this serum that they have, it has everything. It has the phytoretinols in it, it has the antioxidants in it. On their website, like when they break down the ingredients, they're linking all the studies to all these ingredients and why they're effective. So just like my kind of skincare brand, they're being super down to the science, super like analytical about the ingredients and why they're using them. So the Lene serum, I'm forgetting exactly, I think it's called the Renew serum. It's amazing. I also just love Dime Beauty. They just work so well. And I feel like that's a really good brand where if you have a little bit more of a budget to purchase, products that are in like the $30 or $40 price range. They're at Ulta. Such an effective brand. A lot of the products are EWG verified. I cannot live without their TBT products. They like people talk about glass skin, and I've said this on my page a lot, but I'm like, these are the products that I, for the first time in my life, feel like have given me glass skin. Like sometimes, like last night, we went out for a friend's birthday, and it's a Tuesday night. I'm like, I don't want to do makeup, but I'm putting the serum, I'm putting the cream on, and my skin looks glassy and bright and beautiful. I'm
What
like,
is it called? What is it
it's
called?
the Dime TBT serum and moisturizer. It's their like TBT line.
Well, it's Sephora, I'm gonna go get it after this. I've
Yeah,
never
no,
heard of
literally
that.
run.
I know
So
the
good.
brand, but I haven't heard of the serum.
They're so good, which kind of leads me into retinol.
So this is such a misconception
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Please tell us.
This is another thing that has taken me so long to get to the bottom of because of the misinformation and the information that's out there and the lack of information that's out there online. It's so hard to sift through things and actually find truth. But I feel like in the past year or so, there's been more research that's come out. There's been more kind of doctors giving their take that I will listen to scientists and doctors and these people with these medical degrees. So I feel like there's been more education on it in the past year, which has been really helpful for me to kind of hone in on my messaging and how Detox Your Dome approaches retinol. So I just made a video about this. And okay, so this is how you want to understand it, is that retinol is synthetic vitamin A. So vitamin A is what is causing or initiating the cellular skin turnover that has the anti-aging and anti-acne benefits. So a lot of people who deal with chronic acne often will use a retinol or a tretinoin or an Accutane to, excuse me, to help work through their acne. Retinol is synthetic vitamin A. Tretinoin is an even more powerful form of synthetic vitamin A. Accutane, the oral retinoid, is an even more powerful form of synthetic vitamin A. If anyone listening has taken Accutane before, you know that it is like very, very strict on, you cannot take this if you're trying to get pregnant. If you're pregnant, you cannot take this. This is known to cause birth defects. It's a very powerful medication, and that's why you work with a doctor when you're using it. And so it's same with tretinoin. Tretinoin you can only get through, your dermatologist, your doctor, because it has that higher concentration of vitamin A. The US has no regulations around any of these label warnings on vitamin A for just over the counter retinol. So that's why you can go to Sephora, you can go to wherever and get products with retinol in them. And of course, it's touted in the industry as the most effective anti-aging active ingredient out there. Like if you want to go for anti-aging topicals, you're going for a retinol product. Understanding that those are all synthetic forms of vitamin A, I feel like is the kind of the key here to understand. There is vitamin A that is naturally derived and naturally found in nature. And so these phytoretinols, these bioretinols, or these plant-based retinol alternatives, they are using naturally derived forms of vitamin A. The most popular ones are bakuchiol. So you'll see it like in the Dime TBT products. I believe in the Linnae Renew Serum that I was also talking about. Bakuchiol produces vitamin A. It's a plant. It's like the bobchi plant produces vitamin A. Same thing with like carrot seed oil, rosehip oil. There's a lot of botanicals and oils that naturally have that vitamin A in them, which will stimulate that cellular turnover. It will not be as intense as a retinol or as a tretinoin or as Accutane by any means. It will not be at that level, but that's sometimes to your benefit. So the problems with retinol, which if anyone out there has used it, you know that especially at first, you need to be really careful about bringing it into your skincare routine slowly, because it can cause redness, irritation. This is because it is causing that cellular skin turnover. If anyone out there has used retinol, you know that the retinol can trigger inflammation. It can trigger redness, peeling, burning. These plant-based alternatives like bakuchiol, they don't activate the same skin receptors, so you will still get those same benefits of the cellular skin turnover without the irritation. So retinols can trigger inflammation, redness, peeling, burning, which damages the skin barrier. And I think for me, something that I'm always trying to do is really just support my skin barrier. And of course, there are ways to put the retinol on, put the moisturizer on, use it every 3 days and then use it every 2 days and work your way into using it every day. But you're still kind of always playing this tug of war with your skin, with how much it can handle in terms of just your general skin barrier and your skin barrier health. The plant-based retinol alternatives will not activate the same receptors in your skin, so they won't cause that itching, redness, burning. So in general, if you have sensitive skin, which I do have sensitive skin, you might find that a plant-based retinol alternative just in general is a lot easier to handle and a lot easier to use every day versus a traditional retinol. There's another layer to this where retinoids and retinol are known to degrade and change under UV exposure. There's been, lots of studies done on rats and mice where they put retinol on these animals, they expose them to UV light, and they develop tumors, skin lesions. And it is known that retinol increases your skin's susceptibility to skin cancer. And this is why they say, just wear it at night, always wear your sunscreen. But it's kind of, again, going back to that idea where it's like, why are we weakening our own skin barrier for the sake of anti-aging when we have to do all these other things, like put the sunscreen on constantly, stay out of the sun, do the moisturizer? Like, it just seems like this unbalanced approach towards anti-aging skincare, in my opinion. And it's also known to increase your skin's susceptibility to skin cancer. I come from a family where skin cancer runs in my family. Like I'm trying to do everything that I can to not get skin cancer. And so I feel like using a product that has retinol in it is counterintuitive to that. And also on that note, like I've seen eyelash serums with retinol in them. I've seen the
What?
randomest products, like makeup products that have retinol in them. They don't even say it on the packaging. If you just look at the ingredients, there's just retinol in the
Why?
ingredient list. And
What's
it's
the
like,
point?
literally, what's the point here? And it's important to know that in the EU, any product that uses any concentration of retinol has to have the disclaimer on there that should not be used by pregnant women. This can increase your skin's susceptibility to skin cancer and sensitivity to the sun. And so I think just like looking at it from that perspective, like, okay, we should just be more cognizant about it. And again, I'm not saying that everyone has to give up their retinol, but I just think it's about informed consent. It's about understanding what may or may not happen when you use those retinol products. And it's not all just like, you know, positive, positive, positive. Like you should just be aware of the potential implications of using a retinol product. Whereas the phytoretinol is photostable, so does not degrade under UV light, so you can wear it during the day. And even another layer to that is that phytoretinols are also antioxidants. So they're not only like increasing, your cellular skin turnover, but they're also like helping to fight the UV exposure. They're not going to degrade, they're not even staying neutral. Like they're helping to support your skin in the face of the sun. So I just think for so many reasons, like it just feels better to me. And I also think just like looking at it from an analytical perspective, like the plant-based retinols are just doing more to support your overall skin health and skin wellness, which at the end of the day is going to be anti-aging skincare.
Totally. Wow. That is really interesting. I don't think
Yeah.
it's talked about enough. I don't think people know that. Is it that retinol is synthetic? Is it that it's not the natural form of vitamin A that makes it more dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, retinols are derived from petrochemicals. They're a byproduct of the fossil fuel industry. So I think they just react differently. It's synthetic vitamin A, and I think it just, at the end of the day, acts in a little bit of a different way than the naturally derived vitamin A. And like the vitamin,
Interesting.
oh, and also there's another layer to this where thinking about like birth defects, and also, this is something that you should talk about with your doctor. And this is why, it's always under doctor supervision that you are prescribed tretinoin and Accutane, because actually I had a friend who asked me about this. Like I'm trying to understand the whole link between retinols and pregnancy, etc. So what happens during pregnancy that causes these birth defects is it's either vitamin A is one of these vitamins within your body that you really want to keep at homeostasis. If you have too much of it or too little of it, it can have really severe health implications. And
Mm.
having too much of it is what causes those birth defects, why you don't want to take Accutane while you're pregnant. It can have really severe repercussions. It would take a lot of retinol to cause
Yes.
those birth defects. Like I'm not saying, and it's not recommended to use retinol while you're pregnant because of that link. I would say like again, it's not the same thing as taking Accutane every day. It's not something that you need to be so extremely scared of, but it's one of these things that it's like it's all the little things that add up, and every single day that you're using the retinol, it's seeping into your skin, it's going into your bloodstream. Just kind of think twice, like do I want to be using this product? If I don't want to be using it when I'm pregnant, I probably don't want to be using it when I'm not pregnant either. Like I feel like it's messing with my body's homeostasis. Whereas these more naturally derived vitamin A derivatives are going to keep things more in check. They're going to be less intense. Like you're not going to get the most intense results overnight or over the course of a month. But again, this is about longevity. This is about the next 50, 60, 80 years of your life, hopefully. It's not about the quick fix that you get in the next month. It's about supporting your body's overall health so that you continue to age with grace and wellness and all
Totally.
those things.
Totally. Yeah. And I also think that there's like, maybe it's a bit of scarcity mindset or like
Yeah,
harder is better. And obviously that is in
right,
so many aspects of society, but like I need the most potent, retinol is an example,
right,
or in, I don't know, what's another good example of that? I feel like it's everywhere, like a
right. Even like vitamin C,
electrolyte
like
hit.
right,
Yeah.
like you want the most, you want the
Like,
highest
the
concentration.
exactly, and people are, like,
Yes,
pumping themselves with sodium,
right.
and your body has an ability to heal and, like, naturally glow and naturally be really radiant, like, we don't need to rely on all of these external things,
Yep,
and we also don't always need, like, the strongest, the best,
right,
the hardest,
right.
sometimes, like, natural is just best, and it allows
Absolutely,
your body to work its best too.
absolutely. It's a whole rabbit hole, and it's controversial because it's like the holy grail of skincare recommended by dermatologists everywhere.
Crazy.
So it's one of those things where it's kind of like against the grain and definitely against the norm, but more and more brands, doctors, organizations who are in this space are coming out with more research and just information and conversations about it. Um, and I think a good example of that is Surrette is the Surrette approved for motherhood seal, which is one of these new verifications that kind of approves products for pregnancy and motherhood. And they have their whole they have a board of 6 or 8 board certified pediatricians and doctors and dermatologists who are vetting these products, and their consensus was that retinols are not safe during pregnancy, but phytoretinols are safe to use.
Huh.
So I think kind of leaning on these organizations that have those like very strict standards that go through the whole medical scientific evaluation and seeing what their perspective is like, and seeing that it kind of aligns with things that I was thinking like it's
Mhm.
great to have, I guess, that layer of verification with like an organization like that.
Yeah, totally. Tretinoin, is that in the same camp?
Yep. So tretinoin is synthetic vitamin A. It's a more think of like retinoids as the umbrella or kind of a
Okay.
ladder. Bottom retinol, I think I forget the exact concentration that you can get in over the counter products. Maybe it's like zero 0.5, zero 0.3 or something. Retinols, tretinoin is going to be more intense, higher concentration. Accutane is even more intense, higher concentration. And I mean, these things do work, especially for chronic acne. They work. People everywhere know them, but people everywhere also know, the what it does to your skin and the redness, the irritation, the et cetera. If you're doing it for a short period of time, okay, that's whatever. You're working on that with your doctor, but just thinking about things as a holistic, long-term plan, maybe you want to consider other options.
Yeah. Yeah. I suffered, it sounds like similar to you, but dermatitis, eczema, skin breakouts. I had like
Yeah.
rashes. I got these histamine flares and I
Yep.
had these breakouts around my mouth and my eyes. And I went to a dermatologist and she goes,
Yep.
"Oh, take doxycycline every single day
Yep.
indefinitely." I'm like,
Yep.
"What? Take an
Yeah.
antibiotic? Like, no
Right.
way."
Right.
And then my one dermatologist recommended steroids. And then I remember, like, I was like, absolutely no to those 2 things. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't look cute, but I can live with it. I'm not gonna
Right.
hurt my body in those ways. And then
Right.
I just started exhausting my wallet on different products.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because the answer was just within my body. It was
Yeah.
my gut, it was my hormones, it was the birth control pill, it was like liver stagnation.
Exactly. It's like
And then
we're just
like
putting
I don't
Band-Aid on
have
top of
issues.
Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid, and I feel
100%.
like the whole retinol kinda hole is like more Band-Aids. It's like if you're doing this out of
Exactly.
anti-aging, but then you also have to be consistently wearing sunscreen at all times, and then you're also adding in other products to
Yeah.
make sure that your skin doesn't react and get the redness.
Yep.
It just feels a little bit too intense, I feel like, for a long-term holistic plan.
I think the amazing thing with clean beauty is you are enabling your body to work its best and its most optimally, so
Right.
you're never relying on something external. If you
Exactly.
go on
Yeah.
vacation and all you have is, like, some coconut oil, you're gonna
Right.
look the same, you're gonna feel
Yep.
the same, you're not gonna break out.
Absolutely.
But so you're not, like, carrying around a Band-Aid with you.
Yeah.
That was amazing, that was super helpful, and I follow every day, I, like, look forward for
Yay!
your posts, they're amazing, so
Thank you, thank
more
you.
hot takes and really helpful information to come, but I
Totally.
know we don't have a ton of time, but I really wanna go through a
Yes.
swap for a few
Yes.
categories.
Let's do it.
I'll let you pick. Like, I know
Okay.
you're whatever ones you're most passionate about, but let's do, either tell us, like, one a way to know if something's clean or not. Like,
Yes.
and then also maybe, like, your favorite product, your favorite brand per category.
Yep.
This is a selfish question because I also really wanna know what your
Yes.
favorites are.
Yes, totally. No, I love this. And I can kinda go down maybe I'll go down the list of my, like, 12, 11, 12 categories that I'm doing for the 365 days, and I can give you guys a
Mhm.
couple swaps or, like, top picks for each one of them. Okay, the first thing I would say, if you do this and you don't do anything else, you will be by far, in a way, like, on your way to low-tox living, and that's just removing fragrance products. Any product that has undisclosed, the term fragrance on it, just it's an automatic no. And I would say that the products that don't have that undisclosed fragrance on them if they're not putting that undisclosed fragrance on there, they're probably also caring about other things in this sort of low tox, clean living space. So I would say that that would get you like 75% of the way there if you're just buying products that don't have undisclosed fragrance on them. And also a caveat to that is that just because something doesn't have the term fragrance doesn't mean that it doesn't smell good. It just means that they're disclosing all the ingredients that make it smell good. There's even, there's perfumes out there that have fully disclosed ingredient lists that they're just telling you what's actually in it. So I think it's just kind of thinking about that in terms of informed consent. Like, why would you purchase a product that you don't even have the informed consent to know what's inside of it? So start with that. Make that like your number one ground rule always. Okay.
Wait, you got to answer this.
Yes.
Perfume then that
Oh,
doesn't
yes.
have
Yep.
bad
Okay.
fragrances in it.
I would say the two that I have been loving using on repeat. One, Layer More fragrance. Love. It is so strong and potent. Like it's so strong. And we actually interviewed the founder on the Detox Your Dome podcast, and she talked to us about that, how like the concentration of the fragranced ingredients are higher than a lot of other just perfumes in general, because she's like, because you're not using the phthalates and all these hormone disrupting ingredients, a lot of times people say it doesn't last as long, it doesn't smell as strong. And she's like, so we're going to load it up. And so they smell so beautiful. I get compliments every time that I wear the Layer More fragrance. Their scent Amal. They have like the hair perfume, the body perfume. Absolutely love it. Excuse me. I call it my Saturday night martini scent because it's like, that's what it gives. Like it just, I'm getting dressed up, I'm going out. Like it's like the perfect, beautiful scent for that.
You're making me want to order this right now.
You should. You totally should. And then the second one for more like fun daytime use are the Skylar body and hair mists. I love those. The Coconut Cove I've been using because it's just like summery and it's like daytime. I'm like going to the beach, like taking my sister's dog on a walk. I'm like loading myself up with it. Like I feel like I'm in middle school again buying like the pink body mists because it has like the same similar packaging. It just like has a similar sound. So I'm just like spraying it everywhere and I love it.
I love that. Okay,
Yes.
yay.
Okay.
We're going to look out for both of those.
Yes. Layer More and Skylar. So good. Okay. So I kind of went through skincare. Makeup, I have a lot of different picks, but I just like some brands to look out for are like Say and Ilia if you're shopping at Sephora. I don't shop at Ulta that much. I'm trying to think what they have, but I guess in general, like RMS Beauty is an amazing brand. Sochi, I've been using their eyeliners. Love the Sochi eyeliners. So good. Crunchy, OG. OG's a great brand. Kosas, great brand if you are acne prone, and also uses clean ingredients. Makeup gets hard because of the lake dyes. That's a whole rabbit hole. You pretty much want to know that the lake dyes are tested for heavy metals, but some brands do, some brands don't. The brands that don't, it's one of those like more low tox swaps versus like completely non-toxic, I would say. So there's kind of a gray area within makeup, but stick to those brands and you'll be pretty set. Okay, home cleaning. This is like branch basics. Just get the concentrate. It will literally last you years. Like a year and a half into using my concentrate, and I use it all the time. I'm like literally using it every day because you buy the one big bottle and then you just put a little bit in the sprayer, you mix it with water, and then you have a whole spray bottle of like your all-purpose spray that you can clean your shower with, your counters with, everything, your toilet. So just get the branch basics. Start there. It's great. You can do so much also with just hydrogen peroxide and vinegar. Excuse me. I have like 2 sprayer bottles, like one with hydrogen peroxide and water, one with vinegar and water. Don't ever use them together because that's dangerous, but you can use them separately, like hydrogen peroxide, like the little corners of our shower that'll get like, like a little moldy or whatever. They kind of start to change color because we have like grout and tile in our shower. Like I just spray with hydrogen peroxide. It's white, clean, fresh. And then Blue Land, like obsessed with Blue Land. I love they make everything in tablet or powder form. So it's super easy to just like, there's no plastic involved. It's all non-toxic. Love Blue Land. They also just started selling in Target, which is exciting. So yeah, I would stick to those brands, and then you can honestly go a long way with just vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, water, essential oils for like your all-purpose cleaning solutions.
Branch Basics seems to be the fan favorite.
Yes, they're so good. They're really so good. And it is expensive when you first buy the concentrate. I think it's $60-ish, but it lasts you forever. You can make like 13 all-purpose sprays out of that. So if you do the math, you're actually not spending any more than you would if every time you're going out, you're buying your all-purpose cleaner. And it just,
That's
I don't know,
crazy.
it's so easy because you don't have to go out. It's just right there into the sink and just
Yeah.
refill and redo it. Candles, I love like Fate Naturals. If you're someone who likes wall plugins, there's a brand called EnviroScent. They make like great essential oil based wall plugins, non-toxic, of course. What are their brands? Clothing is a whole rabbit hole, but just kind of, we kind of I feel like, yeah, a whole rabbit hole for clothing, but just trying to stick to natural fibers, cotton, linen, wool, silk. I love like Packed, Organic Basics, Mate the Label. And honestly, you can find a lot at places like Abercrombie, Quince. I feel like Quince does some greenwashing, so don't know how credible of a source they are. But like at the end of the day, if you're buying clothing that's more cotton based or more linen based than polyester based, which is made out of plastic, then you're doing it's about
Totally.
the little steps to make things better, not best. Okay, let me think. Men's products. I just got my dad the entire line of Hygiene Labs for Father's Day. He's so
Oh,
excited. It's
skincare?
all EWG verified. Yep, they have skincare, hair care, shampoo, conditioner, um, deodorant, hair gel, like everything that a man needs. I'm like, I just got him the whole line. And also Jack Fur is an amazing another EWG verified skincare brand. Let me think. What am I missing?
Baby
Uh,
products.
Baby products. I did a whole series on non-toxic mom and baby. Mamala is a great one. There's actually a decent amount of options at like Target. Let me think. Hold on. Let me pull up
You
the
don't?
the guide.
Oh, you know what, product I tried recently and I met with the founders is of RAN, non-toxic wipes. They're amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. And,
amazing.
like,
Okay.
truly, truly really clean, like face, babies, anything you need them for.
Oh, I need to
Um,
check them out.
so add them to your list.
I totally will. Okay, I'm looking like Eco Pico, Healthy Baby, Coterie. Attitude is a great one-stop shop for like a lot of things. Attitude makes products in literally every category: shampoo, conditioner, sunscreen, body care, home care, dishwasher, laundry detergent. They're great, like all in one-stop shop. If you're like, I feel overwhelmed by everything,
It
like
seems
kind of
like
check out
Just
Attitude.
Ingredients is doing the same.
Yes, Just
They're in,
Ingredients
like,
is great.
every category.
Yep, I mean, it's so impressive. I'm like, and they keep coming out with new products too.
I
Yeah, I
know.
love the Just Ingredients protein powder. Hopefully that's Let's Feel Good approved.
It is. That
Okay,
yeah,
great.
their stuff is clean.
Okay, amazing. Yeah,
I love
and
it.
let me think. I feel like what else? Oral care, I feel like that's a big thing
Yeah.
because you're literally putting it in your mouth, like brushing your teeth. I haven't made the swap yet, but I really want to. I keep like almost buying the $60 toothbrush, but like switching to a bamboo toothbrush because you're brushing your teeth with these nylon bristle toothbrushes. It's microplastics, nanoplastics that you're brushing, like they're shedding into your body. Granted, they're not a lot, but it's every day you're brushing your teeth with it. Like,
Yep.
it's those little swaps. A nano hydroxyapatite toothpaste to remineralize your teeth over fluoride.
What
Another
toothpaste do you use?
I love the ones from Risewell and David's.
Mhm.
Boca makes like the toothpaste tablets. If you're interested in a tablet, like a sustainable option as well. It comes in, metal tin. So no plastic involved there, which is great. And plastic-free floss, like if you can find, I believe like silk floss, or just at least PFA-free floss.
Yep.
'Cause you're just putting it in your mouth.
It's
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. It's everywhere.
Which
It
is
is.
overwhelming, but
Yeah.
also kinda cool because you
Yeah.
can always make an improvement. It's like
Right.
next time your floss runs out, go buy a I
Yep.
think cocoa floss is great. They sell it
Yes,
at Trader
exactly.
swap it for that.
Yep.
There's, like, always an opportunity, and then you get in the habit. So,
Yes,
like, now it's like, "Oh, I
exactly.
just buy this toothpaste," or, "Oh, I
Right.
buy this shampoo."
Right. And definitely, the first year or so, it's like you're putting in the thought and the work and the effort to find those swaps. But after you start purchasing them, it completely is habit. It's second nature. You find something that you like and you kind of just stick with it. And you say, I have
Right.
these 3 brands that I can, or 5 brands that I want to shop from for my makeup, or I stick to these 2 brands when I want to get new skincare, or whatever it is. And then it totally just becomes the habit. And
Totally.
yeah, and that's also what Detox Your Dome is trying to simplify. So you can go on the website and at all times be like, I need this product in this category, and you can have a handful of options to choose from.
I love it. This has been amazing, Sophia.
It
So
has
many great
been.
tips. I feel like I just sat in, like, an education
Yeah.
session, and I have so many takeaways and so many things that I
Um,
wanna buy. God, no. We'll get the full list of all your recommendations. I was gonna end with your number one tip to start
Yes,
living a lower toxin life, but I think it is fragrance. But if you have a
fragrance.
runner up,
Yep.
would love to hear it.
Okay, eliminating fragrance. My runner up is really just it's the mindset shift. I feel like it all
Mhm.
comes down to looking at your environment in terms of ingredients, in terms of the things that make looking at your environment in terms of ingredients. Everything has an ingredient label. Just take the 10 seconds to look at the ingredient label. If it's ingredients that you're like, you know what, these aren't the best, or I don't even understand them, okay, whatever, keep moving, buy it, don't buy it. Don't stress yourself out too much about every single, purchase, but just start to think a little bit more consciously about the brands and the products that you're buying in terms of their ingredients. Because at the end of the day, it is far more than the packaging, the branding that's on the front, the colors, the trendy marketing, the influencer that's using them. Like these are ingredients that you're allowing in your life, in your home, on your body, and just trying to make more conscious, educated, informed consent decisions around those products and those ingredients.
Totally. That's amazing. And you're the go-to resource. So I know it's
Thank you.
like a maze out there of
Yes.
conflicting opinions and advice and
Yep.
hard to find because unfortunately
Totally.
it's just such an unregulated space. But
Yeah.
Detox Your Dome is the one stop. The number of times I pull up your Instagram
Oh,
to
yay.
find a recommendation is quite
Amazing.
often. So
Thank you. I'm trying to be
we
more
will
more organized about organizing the recommendations too. So hopefully it can be as easier than ever as the months continue throughout our 365 series.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Yay.
that is probably the perfect way to start if
Yeah.
anyone is looking to
Exactly.
just
Yep.
start making a swap, follow along.
Yep.
You can make one a day, and by the end of the
Yes.
year, you're going to feel a lot better. So,
Mhm.
this has been so much fun. Thank
This
you,
has been amazing.
Sophia.
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been so fun. And yes, thank you for just having me on.
Yay. We will do many more in the future.
Yes, I know we will.
All right. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Let's Feel Good. If today's episode helped you feel more clear, empowered, or inspired to take action on your health, I'd love if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend who's on their wellness journey too. You can find today's show notes, links, and extra resources over on Substack at letsfeelgood.substack.com and follow along on Instagram at Let's Feel Good Club for more real-life wellness tips in between episodes. Because how you live determines how you feel, and we all deserve to feel amazing. See you next time.